Welcome to the Slade
and Wade podcast.
This is where we discuss all things in geekdom and nerd culture.
I'm the anime and movie nerd.
And I'm the tech and weapons specialist.
Somehow we don't hate each other, so we figured why not start a podcast?
So sit back and strap in for the Slade and Wade podcast. Welcome to the Slade and Wade podcast. We're back at it again. Another week of craziness happening in the world of gaming, tech, anime, and all the juiciness that you could think of that happens in the world.
Except politics, which we don't talk about.
Yeah, politics. Yeah, trash.
Such a fun week for politics.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about them.
Yeah. No politics here. First world of business right now we have is a flood of people just memeing the crap out of all the different things of trying to get a PlayStation and trying to get an Xbox, and it is priceless. It is the best thing that this culture has brought us. So
I'm so proud of this community.
Yes. They brought out some heavy hitters like a clown behind a computer desk and saying how I look staying up after all night and getting no PS4 from Best Buy or Target. That was how me. I look like a clown, bro. You got LeBron James staring you down like he's gonna hate you.
I like the Thanos punching Iron Man to the ground. It's like me trying to take some kid PlayStation 5. There's some good memes, man.
Very good memes. You'd have been good, man, if retailers actually embraced the culture and actually use these memes to represent how they feel as well, bro. I used to work at Best Buy, so I never had the experience of being in the console cycle pre-order release, but I was in during the Black Fridays, and I know the frustration of being bum rushed by a bunch of people and seeing my coworkers in field positions behind the counters. But mind you, no one's really in the stores. You know, you have like lines outside, but no one's really kind of rushing in. Online though, I feel you. All software developers and all server guys and IT dudes, I feel your pain. You don't get paid enough for this.
I worked GameStop for the 360, PS3 era.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever experienced a console release. What I experienced was midnight launches of Call of Duty and Black Friday.
Yeah.
But I imagine every console release is similar to that, which is why they spread out the console release to be before Black Friday or after Black Friday. Right. Well, most of the time just before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would be too much strain. If you imagine you have a Black Friday and a console's coming out. Like, people gonna be bum rushing your store.
Dude, I feel bad for people just in general this time. I mean, right now it should ideally be somewhat better. When you have to deal with a console release that's so close to Black Friday, like you still got people saying, like right now we're in November, people are trying to get their PS5s right now and their Xboxes. And I would be so pissed if I had to work at Black Friday and there was actually like, people going outside and like people were just bum rushing to the cashier, like, where's the PlayStation 5? Where's the Xbox Series X? The Series S? And just like, give it to me now. And I want a discount on it right now.
Yeah, they'll be like that the Eric Andre meme. Let me in. Let me in.
Dude. Yeah.
That's great. Speaking of GameStop, GameStop is exploiting their employees to make TikToks so that they can potentially win a $100 gift card and a couple more hours for their store for that given week.
Imagine this. You had to go and use your account. I'm not sure if it's your own personal account, but you had to create TikTok you had to create social media videos just to get more hours at your job as a retail.
Yeah, this video that they link to is so cringe, painful to watch.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, I can again attest to this being a former GameStop employee. I mean, I still have the greeting burned into my head. Like the stuff that corporate makes you do, they used to like mandate these greetings where it's like, thank you for thank you for calling GameStop where you buy and sell used games, and you can get a pre-order special now on Call of Duty. Uh, how can I help you? Like by the time you get through all of that,
Yeah.
you've already like
Yeah.
the customers already had tried to interrupt me like 3 times. Like, hey, yo, I just want Call of Duty. You ain't had to give me all that. I'm just trying to see if y'all had that Call of Duty. That's it. Yo, you got that Madden? You got that NBA 2K? That's all I care about right now.
Dude, it's so bad. It's like they thought, here's an Echo, like a tablet no one wants, an Echo 8. Like an Echo 8. Oh, it's an Echo like 8-inch smart display. Here's an Echo Auto for your car if you have one. Here's $100 Visa gift card. And then you get to choose if you want 10 additional hours during Black Friday week. Get that nice overtime that you want. What? Dude, just give them more time off and get paid for it. Like get paid
I
time
think
off.
they used to. I mean, so again, and another thing that they used to do was they'd make managers compete.
Really?
Oh
yes,
and actually,
in Best Buy
depends.
too. They did in Best Buy, yeah.
It depends on their district.
Yeah.
Because many GameStop managers would get to go to E3.
Right.
So they used to make them like kind of like grovel and beg to go.
To go to E3?
And, like, they would take
That's
care
something,
of the room.
bro. Like,
but like this contest is less than that. Because I mean, they would do the flight, and I think they would put you up in the hotel too.
Wow.
So it's like
they're saving major bank just for doing this. No, this cost is way less than that. Okay, so $10 additional hour, right? Overtime. So let's do minimum wage is $15, right? Give or take. Plus 10, multiply that 10. Well, it's time and a half, right? So it's gonna be 15 plus 7 point, right? It's usually 7.5. No?
Yeah, 20. So it's $22.50
times 10.
10.
You're only getting $225
for your whole store. Mind you, they're talking about the whole store, not just for a particular. Wait, actually,
no, it's
are
for
they talking about particular employees?
No, it's the winner. The winner. I mean, I'm not sure if it's for because you see people dancing.
These
four
people are
here.
doing their whole store.
Yeah. Oh, they're doing the whole store. So what? You're gonna spread apart 10 additional hours across your employees?
Well, the video that they're showing is their event team.
Oh, okay.
Showing you how the dance is done.
Okay.
So those are just like the.
So I think so. Be creative, rope in your team, and have. So I think whoever. Wins,
rope in your team. Get everybody at the store to do it.
Yeah.
So that you could divvy up to 10 hours.
10 hours. Yeah, you got an extra extra $17 for what? And then on top of that, you're putting on your personal TikTok account. Like, come on, dude.
Or like, or TikTok is paying them to make.
This is either upload your video to YouTube or Instagram, and this link is where you'll need to submit to Woobox. I don't know what the hell is Woobox.
They're profiting so much off of this.
Yeah.
Like, because you think about it, like they're getting the exposure of a bunch of employees posting on TikTok.
Yeah.
And they're also like, they pay them nothing. 90% of the people, 99% of the people that do this aren't getting anything out of it. So they're getting all this free promo.
Like I don't know, man. I feel like, hey, you got us free marketing that our marketing team is not even doing. We're also in a company that almost literally died a couple months ago, and the only reason we're still alive is because one, the new consoles are coming out, and then we have some major steep discounts right now for some used shit, but we're almost dead. So instead of having you have vacation time to enjoy in this time that we're going through, because there might be more shit happening, but yeah, you get to work more hours. You have the privilege to ask and be okayed for more hours during Black Friday. Well, you honestly should be like, hey, you get the time off and it's paid. Enjoy some time with your family and your friends and chill and get paid for it. That'd have been great. Like that would be I feel like that's more incentive than working an additional time and a half and then just being like, yo, I just made like $200 more money. That's it. And that's not that's before tax.
It's horrible, dude.
It's this is a
And
horrible
the,
deal. Like
and this is and yeah, the fact that it's COVID going on too is
yeah, dude, come on, man. Like
it's just in bad taste right now. I feel. I mean,
trash.
I can understand why they do this and not some contest in a physical space,
Right.
but I mean,
Trash.
incentivize a little bit better.
Yeah.
Come on now. Um,
Trash.
and I mean, speaking of digital, uh, digital events,
Mhm.
we've got GlitchCon, the replacement for TwitchCon.
Oh my god. So
That's happening probably the day we post this.
yeah, probably. um, so yeah, GlitchCon is replacing TwitchCon. I'm guessing it's just gonna be a bunch of some smooth animations here and there, some segues here and there, and then people behind a lot of webcams. That's it, and it's mostly for the people, not for the actual gamers, like the games itself or whatever you do. Like Twitch has a lot of different categories.
Well, yeah, because I mean, creators get the chance to meet each other and
Yeah,
meet Twitch staff and bribe them and make sure they don't get shadow banned.
right. So now the whole point of TwitchCon is that you take a break, you meet in person, you talk, and you do these things together and do live Twitch events. Now it's all distance, and it's going to be kind of interesting how they're going to pull that off.
Well, yeah. Here's the question that's probably rattling around in everybody's mind. What's the difference between this and what they do every freaking day?
It's
I
large.
mean, yeah.
It's gonna
Hey,
be
guess
larger.
what? We're gonna be streaming for TwitchCon, and guess what? We're gonna be streaming when TwitchCon's over. We're streaming before then too.
We're streaming the stream. That's it. We'll have multiple
Like I'm sure
streams.
they're gonna give them some feature, maybe on a homepage, or they're gonna have some sort of portal where you could all go. But again, and maybe they're even gonna collaborate with other streamers together. But again, you could do that literally anytime.
Anytime, yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm interested to see what type of value they're gonna add.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's gonna be the best digital
Thanks so
convention of the year, but
yeah,
I
really hope
I
so.
don't see it.
I
mean, yeah.
I really hope so. I really hope it turns out good, but yeah, unless they do something major, it's gonna be pretty shite. Hey man, I'm still missing the good old days of PAX. Like, so
Yeah.
I miss being
PAX,
in a convention.
the sweaty nerd smell and
Yes,
the costumes.
the lack of sponsorships for deodorants was clearly present in there. Yeah, but it was still great, man. I love PAX. I
the
love
rows of gaming PCs.
dude. I love gaming
board
conventions in
games.
general. So I mean, we haven't been in TwitchCon at all. So hopefully things get better next year, and we could get.
I'm sure it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's why they probably call it GlitchCon. So then Glitch will be, hey, here's the online version, whatever, and they keep TwitchCon as the one that's in, in person. So it's kind of a smart move in a weird PR sense, but yeah.
Imagine all they do is they just like put a filter over people's streams so it looks like it's glitching out. Horrible.
Imagine someone scarred like, I can't stop seeing the glitches, man. I keep seeing glitches all the goddamn time.
Oh my god, is that Ninja?
Is that Ninja? Oh my god, Ninja, hi.
Oh my god, Pokimane. She's just sitting there and talking like always. But there's a little bit of interference in the stream.
Oh my god, the glitching. She looks so much better. I must simp. So much harder now.
I must now give her my free Amazon sub.
free Amazon Prime sub. Well, she did. This is not in our set of news, but because we're talking about Twitch and also Pokimane, she did something cool recently. She put a limit on her donations, so now people can't just dump tons of their hard-earned money, or maybe whatever's left from the stimulus check, to her. So I think she made a cap of, I think $5 or $50. I forgot the exact number, but it's really low, relatively low compared to what people used to just drop bills on her, bro. Like tons of money.
Yeah.
So it's actually a kind of a good, like a decent move. Like it's
I
actually not
mean,
decent, but
yeah,
it's a good move. Like,
totally not her responsibility to stop people from donating to her.
yeah,
Because I mean, at
because it
the
could
end of the
be,
day, get that bag.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, she's making bank. She's
I
doing
know
her
the whole
thing.
community cannot stand Pokimane.
What?
Although I
She's
guess
not.
her
Nah, she's not like that, bro. She's not.
her well, yeah, she's no Alinity, but like
Yeah.
her reputation before Among Us was
Yeah, that's
like
true. Yeah, her
standard Twitch thought. Like
before we go
that's
to
what everybody.
before we go on like Twitch gossip and whatnot. But yeah, her history, like many different content creators, are either flaky or miscommunicated. So not targeting specifically to Pokemon, but in general it happens. Like some video comes out, some words come out, some beef with someone comes out. After the COVID, a lot of things have been calm, at least from what I could tell. People are just generally trying to just get together and could be thankful for Fall Guys for starting it, and then Among Us just carrying us through 2020 with lying to each other like crazy. So
Yeah, let's play together and just have fun.
and manipulate the shit out of our friendship. Like
Yeah. Yes. And pretend we're friends so that we can stream together and merge our audiences.
to round it all up, though, props to her though. I hope that more people taking advantage of that. That would have been perfect. The platform, OnlyFans, the platform that the girl, she was a celebrity and she got on and she got $2 million with a couple of days.
Bella Thorne is the one you're thinking about.
There we go. High level people that are like top tier celebrities that just jump on platforms. They shouldn't be ranking up like donations for like $200,000 or shit like that. That should not be the case. I mean, yeah, have them the freedom to make bank, but they're already making bank, from other stuff. And they're taking away traffic from the actual original content creators that were there from the first place. So, not saying that should be a thing, but I do salute Pokemon for voluntarily doing that. But you know who else is making bank? Like so much bank. And it's for a gaming company that has nothing to do with staying indoors. Your favorite game, Pokemon Go.
Yeah, dude. I swear you put this in here just for me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, honestly, because I play less Pokemon Go, but apparently this is like their biggest quarter right now.
So the game that's meant for gaming outside, and yet it has its best year when everyone's inside, made $1 billion in 2020.
I mean, and I'm probably about 30 of those dollars. I'm not gonna lie.
That's insane, dude. Like just the fact that they made so much money. They did do some updates to the application. So
Yeah, I mean, there's been more Pokemon added. There's been the buddy system.
yeah,
There's been PvP that you can do with anyone at any time.
right.
Which is, I know at one point that was all you wanted out of the game.
Yeah.
But this was months ago that they started PvP. But
it's months ago. This was this
actually,
year.
I think it might have even been last year.
Really?
That they started doing the anywhere in the world PvP. But yeah, no, they have events now almost every week. They cut egg distance, so you don't have to walk as much for eggs most of the time. Yeah, they had Halloween events. They have the raids that you can catch a legendary Pokemon at. You don't have to walk to anymore. You can do a virtual raid. You can do a raid from a distance. And raid together with your friends. You can invite them to join your raid no matter where they are in the world. And if they have a certain type of raid pass, they're in the raid with you. So yeah, they made Pokemon Go easy to play even if you don't leave your house. It's still surprising to me though, because most of the appeal is going out there and being like, yo, let me trade you your shiny Charizard for my for my Blastoise or my Rayquaza or whatever. That's a horrible trade, but nonetheless, a shiny Rayquaza is worth way more than a shiny Charizard.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it was all about interacting with the community,
Right.
and now people are doing less of that, and it's happening more. So hey, who knew?
I think it opens a little bit more access to a lot of people. So they didn't really get a chance to play with a lot of friends because they were so distant. In general, it could have been like, oh yeah, yo, you're to like another state away. I couldn't hang out with you or play the game with you. But now, because they kind of made it a massive multiplayer, pretty much at this point, they have a great niche, and they made it more accessible by letting anyone just with a phone just hop in and play Pokemon. They don't have to buy a Switch. They don't have to buy a specific game. From my understanding, they didn't make the combat like the original Pokemon games, right? It's still that, double tapping like crazy on your screen
Yeah.
to fight.
Tap tap tap, charge move.
Yeah, tap. Right. So it's still gonna be in that sense. So it's more like Pokemon Go Eevee and Pokemon Go Pikachu on your phone, and now you have access to all your friends without having to deal with,
Well,
oh, dude, I
yeah.
can't go down the block because COVID or whatever. So
I mean, we'll see how the integration goes with the Sword and Shield.
yeah,
Um,
that hasn't happened
which
yet?
they had, which that they probably it might have started. I haven't turned on the Switch in a little bit, but I know that the expansions are out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think probably around now is when that's supposed to happen.
Mm.
So that could have something to do with it. Hey, you got this free game for your mobile phone, and you just paid money for this Switch game, and the two work together. So, let me see what we can do here. And
Perfect.
oh, it's actually kind of fun. Let me use $10 because I can't go to this Pokestop and spin for incubators or whatever. So
It's pretty much
yeah,
the perfect combination of like not crossplay, but cross
actually,
compatibility between different products that they have.
you know why I even spent any money? It's
Why?
because I haven't been going around and leaving my Pokemon in gyms, and that's how you earn money.
Mm.
So that might be true for everybody. It's like, yo, I haven't been able to hold down a gym and get 50 coins a day, and since like 2 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
it's been forever. So like, that might have a lot to do with why people are spending money now, and maybe the community is just that hungry for Pokemon that they're just gonna do it.
Hey man,
No
they
matter
did
what.
spark up a nice video of was it like around summertime, the anime tribute to a
Oh,
Pokemon.
that which we did talk about
Yeah, we did talk about
in episode 2 or 3.
one of those episodes. And that I feel like that resurged a lot of the confidence. I mean, a lot of people were still hyped because the DLCs for Sword and Shield, and then the new DLC that came out, and then you have all this stuff like, hey, if you have a phone already, just take advantage of it. If you want to play Pokemon Go on a go, or just like you're lazing around on the couch and chilling. I don't want to take out the Switch. I'll use my phone that I already have in my hand and play some Pokemon. So super simple.
Yay.
Hey man, I props to the Pokemon Company. Keep pushing on good content. Keep pushing out
Right.
so many like new features and the league that they have and all that stuff. So shout out to them. One thing
Yes, sir.
though that is like rumbling around like what Pokemon has been doing for past year, $1 billion. But this game, which usually is a turn-based game like Pokemon, is now becoming, I say, kind of like Duck Game in a way, right? Duck Game, or maybe just a straight up crazy, chaotic brawler, right?
Yeah,
Right? I don't know.
honestly, the way the trailer looks, so Worms Rumble
Yeah.
is gonna have an open beta. Um,
And if you don't know about Worms is a game where your main goal is to sabotage your like your people that you go against with. You're taking turns, throwing grenades, all these wacky stuff here and there. And now the game looks so much different. Like it's a big up, like a massive upgrade compared to the original Worms Revolution. So, um,
Yeah. I mean, mild correction. The open beta actually just passed this past weekend,
oh,
6th through 8th. I missed it. But the game will be coming out in the near future. So
uh,
I don't know. I'm gonna check PlayStation to see if I can still download it because I'm all about that Worms action. And if I could go play some freestyle Worms against like strangers and not have to wait for their turns, because that's
yes,
the most unappealing thing,
about
honestly.
Worms, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you have to
it's
sit
funny
there and
because
wait.
you're like, it does have its charm because you are like, okay, let me throw this grenade and then see where it lands, and then oh crap, it just landed right there. So it has that not chess vibe. Shout out to not that chess vibe, but more like I don't know, like you're seeing the next opportunity and you don't know what that move might entail because yeah, you're throwing the bomb at someone and then it could spring past by them, but you never know that bomb just blew up some section of the hole and everyone gets flooded or something like that. Shit happens. This game is like it gives me a little bit of the vibe of Duck Game because you're kind of just all over the place, or Stick Fight where you're just jumping around with weapons and whatnot. But the difference is that they're doing team deathmatch, which they have tons of cool weapons and gear to fight, but also they're doing battle royale, which I don't know. That seems like a lot, especially because it's gonna be a side, kind of like a side scroller game in a way, from what I could
I
see.
mean, yeah, and I
So
mean, it also looks like you can revive your teammates. That's
yeah,
pretty cool too. I mean, if the marketing is done right, and if people really are that bored,
yeah, dude.
um, it could do really well with kids for sure.
Yeah,
But I'm inclined to give it a try.
yeah. Looking at some gameplay of it though, you are kind of pretty far out from the like location, like the distance from the map and everything. So you got a little bit of visibility of like 2-3 floors when you're running around. But
Mhm.
it is pretty cool. You're rolling around with your worm, you're shooting
Oh wow!
people.
And
Uh
customization is like I've never seen before.
yeah, it's really off
It's
the
deep.
charts. Um but I don't know. Do you remember that game, the banana game? Uh say hello to Mr. Banana, whatever, from Switch. They had like a quick little game called that, and it kind of has that vibe too, where you're just running around shooting. It's a not the term for this, or if there's a term for it. It's just a side scroller shooter, but it looks pretty awesome. I like that you could just run around, get weapons, get canisters. It's kind of like a battle royale, but you're just running around causing chaos. Um, it's interesting. It's different. It's not first person or third person. It's like you're in the side view, so it's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Before I get distracted and watch that gameplay trailer for another 10 minutes, uh,
Like,
the next story is
well, unless
oh.
unlike that game, which is grabbing attention from many people like Sean, uh, a game that's not grabbing a lot of attention at all is Marvel Avengers. Yes, I know, Marvel Avengers, the game, not the movie. Um, loss was a loss for Square Enix for $63 million. Shout out to O for sourcing this story. My God,
Yeah.
uh, major like what the hell? And look, I'm this is personal to me because I actually brought the game. I was hyped for it. I wanted to play like Iron Man. I played the story. The story is actually quite good. I if the game itself was a single player game and you just got it for single player, like say Spider Man, uh, on PlayStation, or Miles Morales, um, no problem. That's it is that it's a single player game, fine. But then they kind of took the game and made it into like, hey, you have your single player, but then that becomes Destiny for some weird reason. So your multiplayer is kind of like you have your characters, you customize your characters with different costumes, which costs a lot of money. We're talking about a couple bills, like $10 or like $15 for some, accessories that really don't do anything for you at all. It's just for
Mm.
customization. And then it's just the grind. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind grind. Diablo, uh, even say Genshin that we talked about recently. There's a game that I'm kind of interested called Godfall. That's kind of grindy too. Um, those games, there's a grind, but there's like an enjoyable grind to it. So you have satisfaction to it. Marvel Avengers is there's no it doesn't make you want to continue playing. Like with Genshin, you get the properties to keep on playing without having to pay money and still enjoy the game. Like our friend O is a great scholar of that with his RNGesus moments. But this game, you're kind of out of luck with that. You're like, if you want a specific costume, you have to work your butt off, and once you get it, it really does nothing to you. After that point, there's no change up
It's
with
it's
characters.
purely cosmetic, huh?
Yes, purely cosmetic, and then when you get, there's no, I feel like you could change. They should let you change your weapons. Like you could boost them up to certain stats and whatever, but there's
Mm.
no like customization in terms of, hey, Iron Man should be able to switch out to different types of attacks. Like, hey, you're using your missiles, right? When you unlock level 10 or something like that, you should get the projectile weapon or a sonic blaster, and then you can enhance that, or you could switch over to a repulsor or something that you're like Pain from Naruto. You're attracting the person towards you with magnets or air or something like that. Something different gameplay styles, like different things you could interchange, and like there's a lot of possibilities. Like Thor could have the axe or the hammer or different types of outfits that increases electric properties or make them manipulated differently, like certain slams or certain like call outs of thunder, etc. So like Black Widow could have had like definitely like Black Widow could have like all the guns in the world. Like Homegirl could have this her two batons and then just have the staffs and then like all the guns you could think of, snipers, machine guns, submachine guns, etc. But there's nothing like that. You just have your plain weapons that you have some stuff that you unlock here and there, but then there's no way to uh it gets boring. It gets boring real quickly. You repeat a lot of the same locations, and it's not the same way of like say an open world game like Genshin or a Diablo, where you still get like vast worlds here and there to explore. Um, I could say it's similar to like in the sense of Diablo, where you are repeating the same maps for a lot of stuff and the same enemies.
Mm.
But at least in the sense of Diablo, you do get some really good, juicy loot. You don't really get much
Yeah.
loot with Marvel. There's no
I
loot
don't
like in that
I don't
sense.
understand how they could spend almost $200 million on a game
Yeah,
and release it with limited customization, bugs, crashes,
bugs to the wazoo.
like
Yeah, it was crazy.
like
A lot of bugs.
I mean, I guess they did it to themselves. I was here thinking that it was their marketing that was weak,
Uh, it
but
it seems like the same old not to put Square Enix in its place because they are like um pretty much the OGs and legends in the gaming community in terms of bringing in some great games, but the most recent Square Enix games have been I mean they have Final Fantasy 14, I believe. If I'm not, let me double check that real quick. um, that is their MMO, and that gets played all the time. Like everyone plays that game like crazy. They have a community, have a niche community just for that. It is Final Fantasy 14, 14 online. That gets played. A lot of people love that game. It's fantastic for those people. But a lot of their bigger games where they release and take a lot of time, like the Avengers game was announced a while ago. It was announced a good, like, I think in the beginning of the PS4 like era, like about 2 years in, 3 years in, maybe at most. It was definitely like second phase for Marvel Cinematic. So Um, they had a lot of time. And what I see often is that a lot of their games that take a long time, like their Final Fantasy games, they would take years. And then when they come out, they'll come out with bugs. It'll come out with like kind of weird directions. Like, hey, why is this part of the game super open world and everyone loves it? And then it turns into shit later on. Or like, hey, you have all these cool customizations, but they're all locked behind paywalls and things that you can't achieve realistically speaking at all. And I hopefully they take this $63 million loss and say, hey, we're gonna take this as a write off and learn our lesson and next time make improvements. Or not sure if you've been recently checking this out because I used to hate this game because of what it did when it came out. No Man's Sky was trash. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember the launch.
Oh,
I didn't buy it.
okay. So I was one of the suckers that brought it. I was one of the suckers that was praising it, looking how pretty it is, how beautiful it is. But like many games that release that have a lot that are not that great, they lack a lot of like coverage and press and all that stuff. There's not a lot of details revealed, and it was really like a lot of the core stuff was kind of hidden away or BS'd. So the game sucked. It was trashed in the beginning. It had a good plot and concept, and the next you know, bang, a couple years later, they have a game that's actually pretty decent. I haven't played it. I've seen a lot of people that hated it play it and they enjoy it. They added multiplayer actually this time, not some bullshit like, oh yeah, you're in that planet. Your friend might be in that planet. Just keep looking. Like, you can actually have multiplayer this time. You actually ride on ships and do kind of cool things together. So if Square Enix could do that, because Marvel Avengers has no number after it or beginning. It's not Marvel Avengers 1, 2, or whatever. I've been saying this for a lot. You could platform a game and it could be something that will last for a long time. If they platform Marvel Avengers, which is they're kind of trying to do with multiplayer, but do it right, they'll have something that a lot of people will keep coming back and enjoy. But if they just leave it as it is right now, bro, dude, I'm not spending $20 for a skin, like 2-3 skins that I want, bro. It's too much money. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's not cool. But
speaking of massive
payouts,
losses for a company, T-Mobile will pay $200 million to end an investigation by the FCC into misuse of funds from its low-income phone and internet subsidy program. So this was an issue that they inherited from acquiring Sprint.
Really? So this came from Sprint?
Yeah. So this is really more of a Sprint issue than a T-Mobile issue. So basically, Sprint customers on subsidized plans had their services cut off for non-usage, and Sprint continued to collect subsidies for them, which is fraud. So,
wow.
Essentially, T-Mobile is left on the hook for Sprint's mistake. So,
dude, I would go back to the negotiating board and say, hey, dude, you gotta give me $200 million to pay this shit off, bro. I didn't know about this. Like, I hope they knew about that before they did a merger. Like, it would be so bad.
One would kind of think, but that was probably some sort of internal issue. I don't think they publicized the FCC claim ahead of time. So they might have just walked into it. Dude, $200 million. That's a lot of money for any company. I mean,
dude, man. I mean,
except for Amazon. It's the only company that can afford.
That's like them farting out some money. That's nothing for them.
That's like 10% of one quarter for them.
Yeah. Dude. Sprint, man. Yeah. Holy shit. I've always been saying Sprint's man shady. They charged me fees for paper. And I had a paperless service on my bill. Dude. I know that's not related to this because it's using a subsidies program for low income stuff, but still, man, it's always sketchy. It's always sketchy bills, man.
I mean, for the FCC chairman Ajit Pai to say it's outrageous that a company would claim millions of taxpayer dollars for doing nothing. This is the chairman of the FCC saying that like what Sprint did was absolutely outrageous. And yes, we all knew that Sprint was shady, but like for it to come down on T-Mobile, a company that's actually like, they're pretty good. They're all right. Better than AT&T. But for it to come down on the company like that, it's kind of rough.
I love how Sprint tried to tell told the FCC, hey, by the way, yeah, the issue came up because it was a software programming issue. The most
right.
most generic. Yo, let's throw this under a rug, right? Everything's fine. It's just software. It was a bug. It was a bug. $200 million was a bug for you? Like what? Like you didn't notice that? Some extra funds, bro? Like what? Dude, that's insane.
Like Sprint actively made the decision to cut off customers' service.
Yeah.
That were not using it. And then they also made the active decision to fudge the numbers so it looked like they still had that customer and still received government subsidies for having that customer.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I mean, fraud at the highest level.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'm surprised that FCC is doing some good stuff right there, at least knocking that down. I feel bad for T-Mobile though, folks. Like if that happened, I would have went back to the negotiate. Like, dude, you guys gotta give me some money for this. And also, I'm firing everyone that was part of that negotiation to let that shit rock. Like, that's no question.
I mean, I hope this money. Well, this money is gonna probably go back to the government, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. But I
wish it went to the people. Class action. Oof, that'd be great.
Well, it has to be class action for it to go back to people. It's probably just government money, so then they're probably taking it back and repurposing it. But now,
well, the government honestly needs the money.
Yeah, at this point,
right now,
no politics. Speaking of about $200 or so million, though, it's like a trend these days. Spotify acquires a podcast hosting company called Megaphone for $235 million, and it's all about the goddamn ads, bro. All about the ads.
We missed a bus. We should have started a podcast company instead of a podcast.
Yeah, we're delayed, man. Us. Yeah, I'm already hearing some people screaming at my ear. What took you so long?
Yeah, right. We had this idea for a podcast for
a long time, 2 years. It's taken a goddamn pandemic to get us back here. It's stupid. But we're here. So Megaphone, I never heard of these guys before. Like I didn't know they host stuff. Yeah.
I mean, apparently it's software that's directly responsible for the actual uploading of the podcast.
Right.
So the speculation is that Spotify is going to create a separate service for just podcast uploading and separate it from their music wing. That's a speculation. But honestly, I think that would be kind of a rough move because
them acquiring it though, they pretty much have all the books covered. They already have a podcast player, which is a Spotify app. They will have a podcast creation software, the hosting company because of Megaphone, and
Megaphone. You could host their show.
Megaphone also has its own like ad support its ad platform that helps out people sell ads for their podcasts and promote it, etc. So they kind of acquired a lot of big pieces for them to just become a
I didn't realize that Megaphone had deals with Slate, iHeartMedia, Disney, and Vox Media. Disney and Vox Media, those are two huge names.
Yeah,
I believe iHeartRadio, kind of tied in together like that.
Yeah, and
that's a big deal.
This has been going on for some time because they've been acquiring like other companies that like Anchor, The Ringer for like several $1 million. These are they're just dropping millions of dollars left and right to acquire other like podcasty and distribution services that they just want to become, I guess, honestly, maybe just besides being your music, source, because their main competitor right now is probably, I don't know, Apple Music, and I mean, there's YouTube Music, but
Apple Podcasts.
yeah, but their podcast, because podcast is pretty much what this is like the biggest thing that's been blowing up recently. So they're trying to become like the Netflix ish, I guess, or the dominant source of like, hey, you want to watch some streaming movies? Yeah, check Netflix first. So like, if you want to go watch a podcast, check Spotify first.
They are doing something right, and
No, that's true.
I think putting your bets into podcasts becoming like this new thing. It's kind of like the new radio all over again,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like starting all over.
they will
So,
become what Sirius XM always wanted to become.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like Howard Stern. That was the
yeah,
original podcast before
dude.
podcasts were
Yeah,
podcasts.
yeah. Howard Stern and Joe Rogan came afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's
hey,
true. Huh,
everything comes in in cycles.
that's
You
true.
know. So
Like,
hey, we'll see what happens.
yeah, man.
But what's not coming back into cycle is YouTube Rewind, man.
Man.
It's fast forward this year. It's not going.
No more
It's not
rewind,
going
bro.
down.
The button got jammed. The button got butched up last year.
It's rewind time. Will Smith meme will never die.
That most with me will never die, dude. Damn. I feel like they could have done ways to lift people up and made them laugh. They could have done a rewind and do justice, not just because, okay, let's say this. Rewind for the past couple of years has been trash. We can all agree. It is a great conversation point, like, yo, what?
Well, the last one was so-so. 2019 was so-so.
Last one was the last
fire.
one was a Watch Mojo video, bro. It was nothing. I could have watched that shit on Watch Mojo or some other top 5.
Yeah, that's a bare minimum for passable.
That's not passable. That's horrendous. It's a freaking YouTube company. It's YouTube company.
Yeah, but,
it's a freaking
the one before that
company.
that was the most disliked video of all time.
Oh my god, dude! They used to make videos with great like YouTubers and some celebrities and make a nice like an episode of like a compilation and everything going on. It was like a actual funny, enjoyable. Like, oh, look at that person. Oh, I know him. I watch him or I watch her. You know, it was cool. Now it's just like it feels so forced on. Like the last ones before the top 5, the top 10 bullshit that they did last year. But like,
I mean, yeah, they really stress the brand friendly creators.
Yeah,
which
I mean,
is like the worst part.
The only
like,
good thing about that
cringe.
about the YouTube Rewind for the past couple of years is that they created great memes. The memes they created were fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of this community.
The community
and everything with Will Smith, yeah, and
I mean,
Casey
Neistat
saying K-pop.
K-pop, like, dude, come on.
You know what? Bring it back.
I gotta also, well, shout out to you, man. You have a tough couple years, bro. First, YouTube Rewind, then Entanglements, bro. Shout out to you, man. You're still up there. You're still doing great. Just don't go on
Will Smith.
Will Smith, man. Just don't go on another YouTube Rewind, bro. Just make sure that shit gets vetted through some people first.
I'm sure Will Smith had plenty of entanglements of his own. He could be all right.
He's gonna be all right.
He just didn't publicize it.
Oh man.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. I wish they actually did one, because at least it would have been something that we kind of got our minds off of things. We already went through so much shit this year, bro. Like,
you know what? It's gonna be all right, because this is gonna make actual creators make their own rewinds.
Right.
I mean, they do already, but like, yeah, this is gonna
this should start pushing people to make their own rewinds. Like, no excuse. Yeah, I would love that.
Like, let's take it back to like the creators make it themselves.
Yeah.
Fuck YouTube. We don't need
Honestly,
$2 billion to make a freaking video.
Thinking about it though, I think who was it? It was PewDiePie. Yeah, PewDiePie makes these videos all the time. He makes a like his own version of the better version of what it should be
Well, yeah, and
every
then
year.
Grande, I think it is Grande. He does memes.
Oh yeah,
So he does meme rewind every year,
right.
and those are freaking hilarious because they have all the memes from the year, and it's just like, you know, it's just the great freaking slappers of memes. I mean, I'm sure this year it's going to be a lot of depressing memes, but
Yeah.
you know, it started with World War III in Australia and all this stuff, but now it's like now those things are not funny anymore. those things are closer to true than ever.
Well,
But nonetheless, no
Yeah.
politics.
no politics. No politics. Hey man, I agree with you, but also I just want them to just do a good ass, a really good YouTube video of just a confirmation of everything that just happened. That'd be
How
so
many
fire.
chances do you want to give them, though?
Huh?
How many chances do you want to give them?
That's true, man. Oh, here's the thing: they need to get all the people that shat on them, like, yo, this is horrible, this is bad, all that stuff. Let them review it, because don't release it to the public and then it becomes the next, like, did you see what YouTube did again? This was trash. like
Yeah,
that.
and not these out of touch brand friendly people.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, don't put late Saturday night late Saturday Night Lives freaking like stuff like
oh
that.
yeah, I think they had Jimmy Fallon on one of them, they had James Corden on another one.
God, dude, I was like, dude,
I think the Kimmel was the only one they didn't get yet. They might have had Conan on one.
yeah.
Although Conan and Kimmel, I wouldn't be mad at. Fallon, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, they just gotta release something new, man. That's it. And
oh, dude, you know who's been killing it this year? Random tangent. The Daily Show guy who took over. Oh shoot,
Trevor
I'm
Noah.
gonna look at his name. Trevor Noah, dude.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah's
Well,
been
he was
killing it this year.
also in the Rewind last time, and people shot on him for that one too. He was doing.
Was he in the Rewind?
He did a freaking Fortnite dance, dude.
Oh really?
He was doing a Fortnite dance in a YouTube Rewind, and we're like, why are these freaking late night show, daily night show people are here? Like, they're not part of the culture like that. But I don't know. He did, actually this year though, he's made so much good videos of just talking
from his like bedroom, and just like with memes in the corner of the screen and stuff.
Spot on, dude. Even though
Yeah,
you may not be politically in the same side as him, he at least does some good shit. So yeah,
and everybody loves that South African accent.
I think this guy's yo. Wait, are you crushing on Trevor Noah?
He's a handsome fella. Anyway,
speaking of handsome things, Apple, the everyone's favorite bitten Apple, releases brand new Mac Minis, MacBooks from the Air and the Pro with their new M1 processor. Now, before I go all nerdy on this shit, let me just be real quick. Okay, 3 new processors, 3 new devices. They're all the same, design wise. They look the exact same as the Mac Pro from last year or earlier this year. They look the same as the MacBook Air and the Mac Mini from 2 years ago. The design and everything looks the same. The difference is the ports. So, and the actual processor. So Apple made a brand new processor. What they're telling is the middle finger to Intel and said, hey, Intel, you've been charging us too much money. You've been a lazy fuck, lack of better words. This is literally their big FU moment here. Every time we pay you like $100 couple dollars for your processors, they're not even that fast. They're hot. They waste battery. We're tired of this shit. We're making our own stuff. So, they made their own processor, and the processor is actually the same one, or based on the same ones that they do on their own phones and tablets. So, the iPhones you have laying around, the iPads, same processor. They just made it better and optimized for desktops and laptops. So this processor on these new Mac devices are as fast or faster than current, like last year's versions of the MacBooks and Mac Minis. So it's kind of insane. And it takes less wattage, which means that because it takes less wattage, it uses less energy on the wall if you have a desktop like the Mac Mini, or it takes less energy for your battery, which means way more battery life. How much more battery life are you talking about here? MacBook Pro had 10 hours of battery life. With this new M1 processor, you have 20 goddamn hours of battery life. Who has time to kill 20 hours of a battery life on your laptop? You have to be going through the whole entire world now. You literally have to be living on a plane, like to kill 20 hours on a laptop,
or playing Genshin Impact,
or playing Genshin Impact. True that. Thank you, bro. Like air fist bump right there for that one. Or destroying people and lying to people in Among Us. So yeah. So these processors, the major thing also besides that they're better for battery life, they're faster, they're more efficient, they're quieter. Even the new MacBook Air has no fan at all, so it's super cool and quiet. The other major thing is that because it's a new processor, it means that the architecture changed. So some apps that you're used to running, like say Photoshop, may not run as smooth yet. We don't know for sure. It's kind of suggested that it's gonna run. They have a software that they call Rosetta 2. It's not Rosetta Stone. Calm down. They're not teaching us Spanish or Chinese or anything like that. But what they're doing is they're saying, hey, Photoshop that worked on Intel, work on my software. We'll try to emulate it. So you get to use your softwares from before, but we're not sure yet how fast they are. We know for sure. Yeah, so it's kind of dicey. Yeah, so if you're relying on, Audition, Photoshop, Premiere, or some apps that are really like, dedicated, that were made years ago and haven't been updated for years, it might not run well.
I mean, I had issues with Catalina when you upgrade to Catalina. All the what was it? The 8-bit programs, the older programs.
32-bit. They're 32-bit programs.
32-bit.
Yeah,
8-bit. Definitely 8-bit don't work.
My man talking about Minecraft before Minecraft was it?
Yeah, right. Talking about Minesweeper. The 32-bit programs don't work anymore. So CS6 stopped working.
For real?
Photoshop CS, yeah.
Damn, I thought
so
CS6
all my
was 64-bit. Holy shit.
All my old versions, like the Office at work, actually, they had CS6, and that's the only version that they ever bought. So I had to go around and do installs on everybody's computers.
Damn.
So
that sucks because everyone was really like, yo, we're not paying for subscriptions for Adobe. We're gonna carry on CS6 for generations.
And it works.
It worked for so long. Done. Yeah. And yet they like I feel like you think that was a collaborate. Well, no, they had to do it because they were trying to optimize stuff and make things better.
They want to charge you $50 a month for.
Well, I don't know. So. You think it was like like Apple and Adobe in the bedrooms, like, yo, hey sweetheart, I need to charge these.
Get rid of those 32-bit programs.
Yeah.
You don't need them anymore.
You don't need them. I want to charge them $50 a month.
Look, people who have Apple stuff, they could afford the Adobe Suite $50 a month. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. So,
like Adobe even had to twist their arm. And Apple are probably just in constant agreement without even talking to each other.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so now I wonder. Well, Adobe's actually going to make optimized versions of this, but
they have mobile versions already, so I wouldn't be surprised if they could.
But I feel like what this makes is that it kicks in the gears. Like, hey, by the way, because what was it? It was the Surface Pro X, super thin, super sexy looking tablet from Microsoft. Trash because the processor can't run old Intel softwares that really well. The new one does a pretty good job now, but it's not as fast. But that would force people now, like, hey, by the way, Apple did it. Now you gotta do it for Windows. You got no excuse now. So hopefully it's good for the entire community. That means that also the other benefit is that the new MacBooks, because they're running their processor that's the same as their phones and iPads, means that they could run the same apps from the iPhones and the iPads. So you could just pull up any dedicated app that you have on the App Store from your iPhone and load it up on your MacBook and not have to worry about, this weird funkiness. So, because there's some apps that are like no website, but you have to download the app. Well, now I could download the app on my computer and still use it. No problem. So that's cool. Now, what that means, though, I'm thinking is like, hey, that means could I run, if Adobe comes out with Photoshop on my MacBook that's running with the new processor and runs smooth, can you run that on your phone or your iPad with no problems? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Like if you could get, I mean, I don't know about the phones, bro. The phones are man small. like the little knobs and shit would have been a pain in the ass. But like for an iPad, that's not bad. A tablet, you could just carry that over. That'd be cool if they could actually pull that off, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Prices are all ideally the same. Besides the Mac Mini, it's cheaper. And you start off with 256. The max storage is 2 terabytes, which is okay. And the max RAM is 16 gigs. And you only get 2 ports, like literally only 2 USB-C ports on all of them, no matter how big. Not even the Mac Mini, which is, I have the Mac Mini. The old one has 4 USB ports, and I could change out the RAM. I can't do that on this new one. So there's some limitations.
It's gonna give you less and less ports until you have nothing left.
Nothing. All wireless society. Also, it means that these guys are charging so much money for these upgrades. Yo, dude, it's like $200 just to go for a higher version of RAM. That's or storage. It's oblivious, yo. Oh, you have 256? Oh, you want to go to 512? $180. What? This shit better be faster than Flash. Crazy.
I mean, yeah, at a certain point.
It's crazy.
I don't know. I'm just glad that we've got customizable PCs because I can't do it. I can't do it with Macs.
Like Apple's like, I'm done with Apple.
I'm like, yeah. I can't.
What this means, like, so this means though that, like, how we're about to talk about the next subject right now, it means that shit is gonna go really fast in the next couple of years, like CPUs, everything, so fast that you might feel like you're in Mandalorian in the new spaceships. So the first 2 episodes came out. I haven't fully watched them. Don't hate on me. I watched the first one, but the second one, I was tired.
I mean, look, it's not like it's on a schedule.
That's true.
but yeah, no. When we were not in the right state of mind when we watched the first episode.
No, yeah, we were kind of
intoxicated. I watched some recaps. I couldn't watch it again.
Yeah.
Honestly, Mandalorian's a bit of a slower show. Like they have a lot of like quiet moments. They have tension between scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They show travel time a lot
Mm-hmm.
between the awesome fight scenes. We kind of forget that there's travel time and there's talking and there's exposition and there's setup and there's all this stuff going on. I'm not gonna spoil any details. I have some details written out, but I'm not gonna. Nonetheless, it's a strongly shot show. It's a strongly written show.
Right.
It's very well put together.
Mhm.
I think Jon Favreau's still doing an amazing job, but that's a show that you got to be in the right frame of mind to watch. You got to sit down and prepare to watch yourself a space western.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely the first time we watched it was not I don't think any of us really knew what was going on in the first episode. I think.
Well, yeah, we just see Banthas getting eaten. We're like, what's going on?
Holy shit, he just got eaten, dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was good though. I mean,
yeah.
and I mean, dude, this is a show that you want to watch on your best and biggest TV because
Oh,
fun fact about the Bantha
yeah.
thing, that's not spoilers. When you see this giant monster appear,
Right.
the aspect ratio actually changes when you're on the scene of it, like when the first time you see it in its full form,
Mm.
like staking out of the ground. And it allows you to see more detail. It's not something I noticed personally. I had to watch a video to tell me that. but like subconsciously it would register to you like, oh my god, this thing is big, and that's one way that
That's what
they
she
do
said.
that to you. So yeah, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, Baby Yoda, adorable as all hell,
Yeah.
always. Amazing that all this action stuff happens. Baby Yoda is never got a scratch on
He
it.
is Baby Yoda is now the Groot, baby Groot of Star Wars.
Yeah, I hope he has a growth spurt and he just starts talking because um he's got a full on character and I just want to see more. I want to see progression.
Okay,
And
yeah.
given how old that thing is, um, it should know how to talk by now.
I don't get
It's
it. Like,
55 years old.
wait,
Like it needs to talk.
yeah, I don't know. We might have to see multiple Mandalorian characters go through before we see him at a stage where he knows how to say, "What's up? I want more soup." Like something
Yeah.
simple as that. Um,
Yeah,
but
or
hopefully,
like, hey, look over there. You're about to get shot by an
an enemy.
Imperial soldier.
Nah, he doesn't have to do anything, man. This guy just like closes his eyes and raises his hand and just does like force push. Like he's all set. My man's good. He just gets knocked
Ugh.
out quickly after he does it.
By the way, my prediction for Baby Yoda,
Oh.
not spoiler or anything, because I'm basing it on literally no information. But my prediction for Baby Yoda is that the Jedi, whatever Jedi is around, probably Luke and or Leia, some Jedi Force is going to reach out to him, and they're going to offer Baby Yoda like to be trained by them, and Baby Yoda's going to be like, "No, dude, I'm hanging out with Mando, son." Like, because if you think about it, I think Baby Yoda's already killed, and Baby Yoda's witnessed a lot of violence.
And it's not kind of
It's not
scarred
going to
from it.
be, yeah, and he's not going to be down with probably most of the Jedi way. I mean, Jedis can kill, yes,
Yeah.
but they're supposed to kind of apply a more
Generous,
morally neutral kind of position.
right.
So I don't think that I don't think Baby Yoda is going to go that way, and I think that's going to be great. And
Mhm.
hopefully, there's rumor that Ahsoka, somebody who used to be a Jedi, is going to be in the show. So I'm interested to see. They cast Rosario Dawson, so that's not spoilers. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to turn out. And by the time this episode comes out, I'll probably know that answer. But we'll see. Because it will be episode 3 by the time. This
Most
comes
likely,
out,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Moving on to more programming.
Programming.
Well, yeah, anime. Um, well, Genshin Impact is not an anime, but kind of is. They have a manga up on their site.
Mhm.
It's a bunch of chapters. I said last time that I would take a look into it, and I did. I read the first chapter, prologue. It's all about Venti and how Venti first arrived to Mondstadt. Venti is this little kid character who's actually like a super powerful god spirit guy.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see how he's got wind powers and how he played some music, and it was really impressive. It gives you a lot of backstory on things that you don't really care about. Because honestly, I skipped all of the talking stuff in Genshin,
Mm.
and no more did that hurt me than this week, because with the new Genshin updates, all the story elements were going over my head, and there's some cool stuff going on. I just don't know why it's happening. So so that's basically a good reason to read the manga. I'm getting a little bit of backstory. The next chapter was about Dialuk. I read a little bit of that. I didn't finish that story, but yeah, it's giving you backstory. I didn't know that Dialuk was like filthy rich. And Dialuk is one of the most powerful characters in the game with his flame sword of awesomeness.
He's filthy rich.
Yeah. His family like owned a manor, and he was like serving them expensive wine, and they were saying the wine is more expensive than one of my houses. It's like
Wow.
wow. So yeah,
Baller.
he was talking some big deal with this bad guy that shows up. But yeah, no, it was very interesting to get like some background information. You actually run into Dialog's father during the game too.
Hmm.
So
Spoiler.
that was no, it's not part of the story really. He's kind of just chilling by Don Winery, I think it is.
Hmm.
He's just chilling out there in the middle of nowhere. And you just walk up to him and he's like, "Hey, I can tell you about Dialog." And
That's so
there you
weird.
go.
I guess he's proud
But
about his son. He's like, all right, yeah, Dialect. You know Dialect? Yeah, it's my favorite.
but yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna keep reading it. It's well drawn. Um, it's all in color. They spent
Really?
some money on this. Yeah, really it's really impressive
Hmm.
considering how few people are gonna read it. So yeah, I recommend it if you are like me and did not pay attention to the story and now you kind of want to know what's gonna come on. Uh, but yeah, otherwise, I mean, I honestly can't tell you to sit there and watch every cutscene. But yes. So anyway, speaking of cutscenes and animation, Black Clover.
Ooh, Black
Uh
Clover.
so they've been on filler for probably the last 10 to 15 episodes, and they still are. This last episode
What?
was also filler. And
Wow.
that's why it's kind of impressive that they went ham on the animation. Um
Really?
I'll link a YouTube video in the description, but I have it linked. You can
Mhm,
see just a little bit of it in this video that Crunchyroll uploaded.
mhm.
And they're going hard for no reason. Like, like I'm talking perspective rotations. I'm talking like 3D kind of looking stuff, but not actual 3D. Like they're doing the most for this filler fight between all of the magic captains. So I recommend, even if you don't watch Black Clover, maybe just like, you know, take a peek. Take a peek at um that little clip. Um but that's what the show is supposed to be about. It's just that, you know, hey, they're not consistent with their animation. And we've had this argument 100
Oh
times
yeah.
about
Oh yeah.
whether or not Black
Oh
Clover
yeah.
is a good
Trash
show or
animation.
not.
Trash. So when I first heard that, like you telling me that they're improving it and it's a filler about all things, what
Yeah.
I'm thinking now is like, hey, they're like, you know what? We heard your complaints. We're gonna flex a little on the most important thing you could think of, a filler, and
Yeah.
just give you a
But
taste of what's to come. Maybe that's what they're doing.
it honestly makes it's the most sensible filler episode I've ever seen though. They weave
Oh,
it into the story like you wouldn't I have to tell you that it's filler for you to know it's filler.
oh really? Like
um
that sense? Wow.
yeah, like the captains are fighting to kind of show people um the strength that the magic captains have
Right.
because they just went through a crazy situation where half the city was destroyed. So they're trying to rally like inspiration from the people.
Hmm.
Um and and this kind of succeeds in doing that for them. And
Hmm.
this is something that they did not do in the manga at all. They go straight into time skip and it's months later and everybody's freaking ripped out of their minds and incredibly powerful. So, you know, it's good to see stuff like this, you know, fill in the gaps, have a little bit of fun, uh, you know, show people like Slade here that there's some good animation in the show. So
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. You know that. You know truly well. I
you gotta
want.
ride the wave, man. You gotta
I
ride
will
the
not
wave.
ride that wave when it's trash.
I feel like a used car salesman. Like, hey, this old Ford Taurus is really, got a ton of mileage, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna ride like crap a lot of days. But when it rides good, ooh, does it ride good? It'll be the smoothest ride you ever felt for about 2 blocks. And then it's gonna buckle and rock your world afterwards.
Like, don't mind the slight jitter right from the very beginning when you press on that gas, but know that after several minutes of just possibly having nausea from the rumbling of your car, you have the most smoothest experience in your life for 1 minute.
Look, every once in a while, that tailpipe is just gonna kick out a bunch of black smoke, and it's gonna somehow enter the cabin, and it's gonna choke you a little bit. But then you just roll down those windows, let that motherfucker out. You good. Just roll with it, man.
Roll down those windows, bro. Not even the button. Roll them down. You know what's crazy? At this point, I feel old. At this point, there's probably kids don't even know that there's cars that have roll down windows.
Oh, man. Yeah. Dude, I had a 2003 Mazda 3. You had to crank those windows down.
Dude,
there were power windows at that time.
You had to put in some force. It's not even simple. You just had a little crank it in there just to get it into that motion. It was something else.
Dude. Yeah, it was good times.
Good times, indeed. Good times.
What also is good times? We didn't talk about this at all, but
really, we did.
Burn the Witch.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 episodes to that show. I did not know that Burn the Witch is supposed to be a movie. This is the Tite Kubo written story, so it's a manga.
Mm-hmm.
But they only released 3 episodes, and it is a tight story that you're kind of gonna want to know the background for, because it jumps, dude. Like, first episode, we're introduced to the main characters.
Right.
Second episode, new characters.
Right.
Third episode, big, huge conflict with a mysterious character changing the whole course of the entire thing.
Wow.
There's a lot going on at once, and nothing gets explained. And you're just kind of like, well, cool. Like, so what I will say about Burn the Witch, without spoiling anything, is the animation, solid. Like, a little Ghibli-esque. Definitely not Ghibli itself. But Ghibli-esque. It has a little bit of charm to it, of like, a kind of steampunkish kind of fantasy world. Takes place in London.
Okay.
What they call reverse London. There's a front London and a reverse London.
Wait, pause. What? They call it reverse London?
Yeah. So basically, the magical world and the real world are connected.
Yeah.
And you can kind of use magic to get into reverse London. It's cool. It's a cool concept. And there's dragons
London.
And there's spirit animals and there's all sorts of stuff. It's kind of like the last season of Korra, of Legend of Korra. Like, basically, spirits and dragons and stuff are in the world, and this whole series is just dealing with that.
Reverse London.
You're still trying to wrap your head around.
That's what I'm like. Is it just?
I mean, again, this is 3 episodes.
Right.
You can knock it out in like half an afternoon.
Okay.
About an hour.
Right.
I would say, give it a try. It's not bad. Think about it as a movie, not 3 episodes.
Gotcha. So I don't think so. It's not an anime. So it's like a part. Think about it like a series, like not a series, like a part. Like, like part 1, part 2.
Part 1, part 2.
Right.
3,
Gotcha. But it happens and it releases in a weekly cycle, right?
I think it did.
Or it did?
I
Or so
think
it's
it's. I
already
think
done?
it's. Yeah, I think this is done. For now at
What?
least. There
Oh,
might come out with more. Or this might just be an advertisement to say, "Hey, go read the manga." I don't actually know, but I think there'll be enough excitement from the community for them to make more animated parts of this series.
mm.
Um, so we'll see. We'll see. As far as I know, the third episode was pretty final. At least for this part. So we'll have to see.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out
Currently,
then.
I mean, I'm looking at it now. It says simulcast on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Just still more then. To
Let
today.
me see. The last episode was released on October 1st.
So
So
then it's done.
that
Yeah.
was over a month ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
done. Never mind. I'm like, oh shit, it's time. We got an opportunity to play it. Like, nope, it's done.
no, yeah, no. I
It's
mean,
over.
we'll see. In a couple months, maybe they'll come out with more. But it's very well animated. You could tell it's meant to be a movie because you would not be able to spend budget on that.
For the way it was
Yeah. So
designed or it was done, you think it was like too? It
yeah,
would cost way
it
too much money.
actually, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Digimon movies. I think they might have had some of the same animators as like the second Digimon movie, where they're like super digital and the art style is rough and crazy.
Mm.
It's kind of like that, and I see the Bleach influence in this too. But
Ooh, Bleach influence.
yeah, I mean, it's Kubo, so
Ah,
he does that. But it's like if Kubo and Studio Ghibli just like collaborated and made a wacky dragon flying anime. So I don't know. We'll see.
that's it. Yeah, I definitely.
Also, mildly perverted at times. Anyway,
Of course, it's not. It's not a modern day out.
Couldn't let it go.
It's not a modern day anime without that, bro. It's a guaranteed. Has to be
Yeah,
included
no,
for some
it's-
weird reason. Okay,
we'll
cool.
see.
So
Final thing.
Jujutsu Kaisen,
Yes.
first 6
So
episodes. What is
so
your thoughts on that?
those
I have not watched this at all, but you have
So
clearly
I'm
to
gonna
know
just
what it
kind
is.
of briefly describe the plot. I'm not gonna go past episode 1 in terms or 2 of describing the plot.
Okay.
So basically, for some reason, this kid is like super strong. Of course, every protagonist, like from the beginning,
Godlike strong.
super strong for no reason.
Mhm.
He encounters a cursed item and decides to eat it in the middle of a fight with some demon spirits that come out of nowhere. He eats it. He gets even stronger. So much so that
Uh,
these Jujutsu Kaisen people are kind of afraid of him. Um,
is
and
this One Piece?
what do you mean? What do you mean? Is this One Piece?
Eating some special fruit.
Oh well, no, it's not a fruit.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a cursed
The
thing.
curse.
It's not like
Curse
it's not like
thing?
a devil. It's not like a devil fruit. Although I guess you could kind of think about it like that, but it doesn't give him any specific power. It kind of just gives him cursed abilities and
Which are powers.
a spirit that can take over his body.
But he's already strong
Do
as it
horrible
is. He
things.
just gets more stronger.
Yeah, and he trains his abilities and he's learning how to control
Right.
his abilities through this group of people
Mhm.
that are kind of like an organization, of course. Actually, did you ever watch Blue Exorcist? It's
No.
just like Blue Exorcist, actually.
Hmm.
And where that you have a character that is feared by everybody around them,
Right.
because of the power that's inside of them, and they train this person because what else are you gonna do? Right? and after training this person, um, they're kind of vowing to get rid of him. They kind of at one
Wait,
point say that they need
what?
to kill this character in order to save the
To
world.
progress. Okay.
So
That's one way to do
that's
it.
kind of like the tension that's going to go through the whole series. So yeah, along the way you meet some other characters with interesting powers.
Yeah.
It's not like it's it hasn't defined its power set yet as far as the show. It's just like vaguely everything is either curses or some sort of magical power. And that cursed energy or that cursed magical power allows him to do all sorts of things, from conjure animals to take control of inanimate objects to, to throwing nails into spirits that kill them instantly or flood them with energy and take them over as puppets. Like, there's all sorts of wacky stuff going on. So it's interesting. And if you're into dark kind of crazy stories with death and crazy fights with blood and buildings exploding and all sorts of madness, then this is for you. They actually handled death in a very mature way too.
Really? How so?
Yeah. No, they characters wrestle with grief, and they wrestle with what their purpose in life is, and like it's very serious actually for a shonen. Like, yeah, the show kind of centers around death and what that does and what becomes of that. So it's deep. Yeah. But on that happy and rosy note, that's the last topic we got. But yeah, go ahead.
So I'm thinking, would you recommend this show then? For
100%. 100%.
Okay.
I mean, if you get to episode 5, I mean, I know that's a big ask for a lot of people, but if you get to episode 5,
how long are the episodes?
And you don't immediately want to watch episode 6, there's only 6 out so far.
No, but how long?
I think this
are they like an hour, 30 minutes?
Oh no, 24.
So typical old school. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think they do have an opening and ending each time too, so you could skip those, and it's probably like 20.
How's the opening and endings? Are there like worthy?
They're not
like,
it's not full slappers. The animation on them is incredible. Like, wow. I don't know how it's not 3D, but like they do some crazy stuff.
Some 3D stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
but not slappers though.
Music wise, it's mediocre. Yeah, it's not a slapper. Not Black Clover level for me. But the animation is consistent, I can tell you, in Jujutsu Kaisen. Even in moments where they're talking, it feels like they're talking. It's pretty consistent.
Wait, what? In moments they're talking, it feels like they're talking.
Like they don't cheap out and not show their mouths moving, and they don't cheap out and like do the thing that Fire Force does, or just pulls out into a wide shot while they're having a conversation.
Okay, yeah.
And you can't see their mouths or anything. You just see like a still frame of them from a distance. It doesn't cheap out and do a lot of those tricks.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, sure, maybe, but they take their time and put a lot of detail into almost every frame. So it's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty impressive.
So I'll definitely consider that then.
I just remembered a tentacle scene in the first episode. Anyway.
What?
Yeah,
what?
Crazy stuff.
They have tentacle scenes in this goddamn thing? Yo, bro.
Only once so far in the entire series.
What are you watching?
It was memorable.
Of course it is a tentacle scene, dude. Well, off of that note of tentacle scenes, hope you guys have many entanglements that don't affect your life like that. This has been the Slade and Wade podcast. We'll see you guys the next time. Stay
frosty.
Stay frosty, stay tangled, stay tentacles, whatever. Later, guys.